I remember I was hitting it from the back on my girlfriend, and one thing led to another. My babysitter ends up walking into my room saying, Baba, what's going on here? Who is this girl? I can explain. As me and her were literally in the middle of doing the Devil's Tango. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to another insane but embarrassing story. So this story all takes place back when I was in high school, and this was my grade 11 year. Now in grade 11, I might have said this before, but I was a major player. No joke, from the amount of girls I'd done back then, it was really bad. But I remember around winter time when it was cuffing season, I ended up cuffing one of the girls that I was talking to on my phone all the time. And she was like basically part of my roster, but she was the hottest one, so I thought maybe dating her wouldn't be a bad idea. Since everyone was getting into relationships, I wanted to seem normal as well, and also I guess date a girl. So I remember me and this girl from my high school, we would be dating, and the whole school knew about it, till one thing led to another. I remember it got to the point where a lot of people were calling us like the cutest couple. It was really weird, but at the same time, I could see why, because my girlfriend in my grade 11 year was attached to me like a lost puppy. Anywhere I would go, she would go. Anything I was planning on doing or doing, she would be there. It was actually super annoying, and even my friends that were friends with me back in high school found it really also annoying because, well, as we wanted to go out and go do guy things, she would always be there. To the point where I remember one of my friends ended up telling me, yo, Bubba, why don't you just like hang out with her and then come see us later? This would happen so often to the point where I was on the urge of just breaking up with her, but actually me and her ended up having a good conversation, and luckily she understood. I needed my me time and she needed her time with me, so we decided to make it into different time sections where I would basically end up scheduling myself to hang out with her and have to schedule times where she was not allowed to be around me. It's kind of crazy how I had to do that, because I feel like normally couples should just know when to leave each other alone and when, you know, they're supposed to be together, but this girl had no understanding of that whatsoever. Going on though, I remember a couple days go by, and I remember it was a Thursday evening. I ended up coming home from school. When I got home, I remember I saw my mom sitting in the living room, and as I walked in, she looked at me and said, oh, Bubba, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, sure. What's up, mom? Okay, so I want to let you know that basically me and your father are planning. And right at that moment, my phone ends up ringing. I end up looking at it and seeing it was my girlfriend. And since I didn't want my mom to know I had a girlfriend back when I was in high school, I ended up telling her, mom, give me a second. This is my friend. I need to go quickly answer this. And I go into the other room and answer. I answer saying, babe, what is going on? What's wrong? Baba, don't you know what time it is? What? What do you mean? And that's when I realized she scheduled a time with me that evening. I started to freak out, and I remember I ended up quickly running into my room, getting my things while I was on the phone, and my mom ends up looking at me doing all this, and she looks at me and says, Baba, can I finish what I was gonna say to you? Mom, just tell me tomorrow. I gotta go. And boom, I ended up leaving out the door and shutting it. Obviously, I don't like walking out of my mom like that, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. It was better than getting yelled at by my girlfriend. I remember I ended up meeting up with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend was just telling me, like, you know, how things are at school and stuff, even though I literally just saw her back at school, but that's not the point. She started yapping about, you know, girl drama and all this stuff that I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about, nor does anyone watching this video. So going on to the juicy part, I remember after she was done yapping, I looked at her in the most Sigma mode ever, and I told her, hey babe, so on Monday at lunchtime, I'm gonna be hanging out with the guys, so can you just like not be around me? Because like, I'm not gonna lie, the guys are kind of annoyed with you, and I just like want them to like you, so you know, just stay away from me on Monday. Is that cool? What? But I want to have lunch with you on Monday. Well, I mean, you can, but like, you know, on Tuesday. Babe, are you serious? Okay, what about tomorrow? Oh, babe, I would, but honestly, I have like this thing at math, and I gotta be there because I don't want to fail. Okay, well, can you at least see me afterwards? Like, you know, late at night? Tomorrow? Yeah, I should be able to see you late at night. I don't see why not. Okay, perfect. So Friday night, me and you. Yeah, no, for sure. I remember after that whole day, I remember I ended up going home, and when I got home, I ended up seeing both my parents. Both of my parents were there, and they were sitting at the dining room table waiting for me to come home for dinner, but I ended up coming kind of late. But as I sat down for dinner, I remember my mom looks at me once again and says, Bubba, I need to talk to you. Yeah, mom, what's up? Okay, well, I was trying to tell you earlier before you ran off, but basically, me and your dad, we're going for a trip tomorrow, and we're not gonna be back till Sunday. Wait, what? Where are you guys going? We're gonna be going to America, so we're gonna be gone for a while, but don't worry, we left you with a babysitter. Wait, what? No, I don't need a babysitter. What? Why'd you guys get me one? At that moment, I started panicking because I knew that if I was gonna have a babysitter come over and take care of me, there was no possible way that I was gonna also hang out with my girlfriend that I was gonna see the next day. So I remember I started panicking and stuff, and I started to worry, and I remember I ended up going inside my room, and before I went to bed, I remember debating on if I should text my girlfriend that I wasn't able to make it for tomorrow's date, but honestly, I decided to basically leave it for the next day and deal with it in person. That way she knows I'm actually serious, and and not gonna do some crazy stuff. But the next day when I ended up seeing her at school, I ended up walking up to her between classes, and I walked up to her saying, hey babe, so you know how we're supposed to have like that date tonight? Yeah, I hope you didn't forget. Well, no, obviously, but I'm gonna have to cancel. Wait, what? Why? Well, my parents are having this thing at home and I gotta deal with it. Oh, okay, well, I mean, that's fine, I guess. It's whatever. And that's when my girlfriend ended up walking away, super upset. But honestly, I'd rather her be upset than figure out that I had a babysitter in my grade 11 year. Like, bro, come on. I remember after school that day, I finally got home and I ended up seeing the babysitter that was supposed to take care of me sitting at the living room. I ended up walking in the living room saying, oh, hi, my name's Bubba. Hi, I'm your babysitter. I'm supposed to be taking care of you, I believe. Yeah, my parents, I guess, got me a babysitter because they know I'm not doing good at school. Okay, well, just go upstairs and focus on your assignments. Your mom gave me the rules already of what you're allowed to do and what you're not, so don't think about doing anything funny. Seriously. I know how teenagers can get. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'm just gonna be upstairs the whole time. You're chilling. And I ended up going upstairs in my room, sitting down with my headphones on, playing Call of Duty. That's all I was doing. I didn't do anything else. And I remember 5 hours later, I ended up seeing my balcony, and I ended up seeing someone was throwing rocks at it. I was so confused to the point where I went to the balcony, and I looked over, and I saw it was my girlfriend throwing rocks. I looked at her and said, what are you doing? Babe, your parents aren't even home. You said you had the parent situation. Where are your parents? And whose car is this? Babe, honestly, oh my God. Here, come on in. I remember I ended up going downstairs secretly while the babysitter was watching TV, and I opened the door for her and let her in. Me and her secretly went up the stairs and went straight to my bedroom, and that's when I sat down beside her on my bed and said, babe, I didn't want to tell you, but I had a babysitter. My parents are gone for the trip, and there was no way I was gonna have you over with a babysitter here. Well, I mean, I'm here now. Well, yeah, but she doesn't know. If she walks in, I'm gonna get in serious trouble. Babe, it's gonna be totally okay. And at that moment, me and her, well, we ended up doing the Devil's Tango. And I remember as I'm hitting it from the back, literally no joke, 15 minutes later, my babysitter ends up walking into my room, asking me a question about the fridge. And as she walks in, she sees me literally doing the Devil's Tango with my girlfriend in my room. At that moment, I started to freak out, and my babysitter started to freak out, and my girlfriend's just sitting there bent over, not caring about the world whatsoever. And it got so awkward, and everything just went silent to the point where the babysitter ended up leaving the room, and she closed the door saying, Baba, tell her to get her clothes on and leave. Seriously, I'm gonna tell your parents about this. At that moment, I was telling her to leave, but my girlfriend was like, babe, why does she get to say what goes on? Like, seriously, who is she? Like, who cares if she's your babysitter? She's not your actual parent. And that's when my babysitter ends up saying, well, I mean, I can call his parents right now if you want. Bro, they ended up arguing back and forth to the point where I had to break up with my girlfriend just for her to leave, and my babysitter just ended up going silent. At that moment, I just ended up sitting in my room on my bed, totally just in shock of what just happened. But then my babysitter ends up walking in with a grilled cheese, and she sits down beside me saying, hey, I just want to say I'm sorry about your relationship. I didn't know it was that serious, but honestly, why didn't you just ask me? Well, I don't know. I'm usually not allowed to have girls over anyway. Okay, well, here, eat this, and don't worry, I'm not gonna tell your parents about this, but next time, don't go for psycho girls. And that's when she ends up going out of my room, and I didn't speak to her for the rest of the night. Honestly, I don't know what I was supposed to do in that situation, but honestly, comment down below what you guys would do, and follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.